This is Melissa, your free range psychic live. I'm talking to you on January what is the 13th, of course, 2026, Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Hey, how's everybody doing? Hey, Ken Nelson, thank you so much for the great modding you do. I always forget to tell you that. Hey, Jackie, I'm going to answer that question I just asked my guides. Hi, Ivy. Good afternoon to you. And hey, Sharon. Hey, Alice. Good to see you. Carolyn. Thank you guys for coming together here at this moment on YouTube so we can talk about stuff. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Hey, Juanita. And please feel free to ask questions. I'll try to get to them as much as I can. Hey, Kim. So the question about, was it you, Ivy? No, you didn't ask that. Oh, Jackie asked that. What months do I see ice stopping? I did ask my guides. They said like March, April-ish. Because they just see this whole government falling apart. And they came on really strong, right? Happy New Year, by the way. I wished you Happy New Year last week, but still Happy New Year or New Year. I don't know about happy, but they want to make it an unhappy New Year. They want to take control. They want to take power. And, like Steve Miller, Peter Thiel, Musk, Putin, of course, all these guys, but whatever. They just want to, they're ready. They're ready to come in and play full fascist and complete 2025. And, we get this whole sculpting of the ICE being the Nazi army, right? But my guides don't see it being successful. They just don't. Hey, Artistic World. Hey, Jackie. Did I just say hi to you? Or no? Oh, yeah, I did. And, I do ask them, sorry, I got something in my eye. I do, recognize that I have skin in the game and I could get the wrong information. I do everyday pray, light a candle and ask, to have the best perception I can have, but I'm a human being. And I always pray before, I'll light a candle and pray before these shows so I can give the best information and the most accurate information that I can perceive from my guides, because our guides, our angels, our spirit team are always correct. It's humans, we make mistakes, but I still ask questions, even though I may or may not get accurate information, but I give a caveat, right? I say, big grain of salt, but then I will ask for you, because I'm a human being. I just want to be honest. Sometimes, I will get things wrong, but if I hear them correctly, they are accurate. So I can give you accurate information if my, my hearing is for them, my perception of what they tell me is accurate and correct. I hope that makes sense. So let's see, there's lots of questions here. Sharon Ann is asking, why doesn't the EU or UN do anything about the human rights atrocities against the Iranian people? They have a blackout right now and are killing people. The IRGC supports Hamas, the Houthis, etc. That's a good question, but it's such a what the guides are saying, Tinder keg. I don't think we know the full picture. Everything is in a very precarious balance. Let me see. Yeah, the guides say exactly right. They're walking a fine line, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes with all these countries trying to bring it into balance. But with let's blame it on the U.S. stepping in and supporting the bad guys, because that's what they're doing right now. It puts the EU in a precarious or difficult position. We do, or not we, as the people who did not vote for him, but this country right now is under the hands of, dictators, people who want to be like and do support Putin and, uh, Kim Jong Il. I would say his name wrong. Whatever, all the baddies, and that's messing with the world. And they are speaking up against us, especially the invasion of Venezuela, which is insanity. And now they're talking, Trump's talking about invading Greenland. And so let's see what I have missed here. Carolyn's asking, I'm curious about the regime keeping Tulsi out of Venezuela and their dislike of her. I wish it would be that she's working against them, not counting on it, but wouldn't it be nice? Yeah, Tulsi. Well, she wants to, this is what my guys are saying to me. She wants to run for president and she does not want this on her record. She doesn't want to be seen as a Trumpian, So that's why she's very concerned about her reputation. Should have thought of that before she threw her lot in with these guys. Because once that's gone, it's gone. She was, I think, hoping there'd still be some nuance and, people running for president on the Republican side. Does that make sense, you guys? But that's what they're saying. That's why. So Gail, hey Gail, says, hi Melissa, do you see Congress passing a law that says if you're the head of our medical system, you're out of the head of our medical system, that you have to be a doctor? And someone like, oh, I see. That the healthcare department and people involved in making medical decisions for the country need to have medical degree or expertise. Yes, 100%. And that's kind of what it's always been like. It's just that this government regime is just breaking all the norms intentionally. I see it as like, and Nancy Pelosi just said this recently, all roads lead back to Putin. I see Putin using, the Trump administration as a Trojan horse, and they're setting the policies, and they want to nuke our country that way. They want to make us sick. They want to make us hungry. They want to destroy our economy. And I've seen memes about that, like how clever Putin has been to take over our country using our own government against us. And that's what they're doing. And that's why we have all these incompetent and fascist people running our government right now, because they're placed there by Putin. And I guess that is how it feels to be, maybe we feel what it's a little like what it's like to be in Russia, ruled by Putin. So, the power for 2026, believe that we will move the darkness out. Thank you, Artistic World. Because I was getting messages about, as dark as it seems, and as much evil as there is out there, and I believe in spiritual evil. So I believe there's like a ramping up of spiritual evil, especially since, and I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but especially since this winter solstice, I feel like there's been so much demonic energy. I don't mean to scare anybody, but I perceive that. And, the whole, like they go the whole 9 yards. Putin does, so why not here? And then somebody just emailed me regarding their thoughts on that. But they're talking about the black/red magic, because I just learned about red magic last year, which is, I guess, the use of sacrifice being used, to as part of the infusion of power, spiritual power into government. So Putin does it 100%. That's not covered up or anything, but we have something similar here. I do believe that. So we have to gin up our light magic to counter it. Yes, that's, I don't know how that sounds to people, but I feel like part of the, this darkness, this, like, it's like, I always go back to Lord of the Rings, and, all of a sudden you see on the horizon the Mordor's armies. Like, where did they come from? And there they are. That's how it feels. But we can fight against them. We have to fight with our own magic. I know. I'd be interested to see how you feel about that. Oh, thank you, Carolyn. I like it too. It helps me get more clarity too. I like that we hash things out with you, and you can give us insights from your guides, because you have me ask questions I might not think about asking them, and I learn so much when you ask questions to them. Um, Apiam says, "Hi, do you, my blue governor, do I see your blue governor of sorts pardoning Tina Peters? He's considering." Let's see. Apiam, what state are you in? Who's your governor? I'm not sure. I'm hearing not yet. Not yet, but eventually. Maybe not today. I don't know. Maybe you could tomorrow. I know I'm just not getting an immediate yes right now at this moment. Hey, Pamaran, is it Pamarian? It's so good to see you too. Oh, Colorado. Maybe. I'm just getting a maybe. Maybe that's a convenient answer. Yeah, I saw Trump just let loose thousands more gnome goons, that much more darkness. It was very much like Lord of the Rings to me. Yeah. There's always like Gandalf out there somewhere. Um, and the Eagles were the huge Eagles. They were the heroes of the movie, and they would save people who are in distress. We need to um, have like huge Eagles pluck uh, the people that ICE are trying to kidnap, out of their clutches. Okay, let me see. I'll give you a serious answer, but it is like that. The tone of it's so much like that. So here we have an army full of miscreants. What does miscreant mean? That's what my guides are telling me. Miscreants. Is that misfits or something like that? But they're saying miscreants. Miscreants. And they're poorly trained. They're full of rage, and there's many recruited, many from like not all, but a good portion from like the Proud Boys, and the from the right wing uh, white supremacist groups, um, you know, and but it's chaos. It's utter chaos because in their haste to recruit, they don't train, and they also have recruited a lot of. They say my guys are saying criminals. That they never, because they don't do good background checks, or just like needing to fill up their ranks. And but it's going to be I mean, it already is disaster. Rest in peace, Renee Nicole Good. Say her name right. And there was another man like earlier on, really recently, also apparently executed by ICE in Oregon. I don't recall his name. I need to learn his name. And but they don't. They are not as big as the federal government is, and as big as their budget is. The states are going to be more powerful to resist. Yes, pure energy. That's what I think. Hey, Captain, you're not that late. Yeah. Oh, the irony, right? Pure energy. It's like you have Chi-Rung saying they're letting out people from the asylums and the prisons of rapists and murderers. But that's really who they're recruiting for ICE, because every accusation is a confession. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, they're being trained to escalate violence. That is absolutely true, because they want to cause to give Trump enough reason to call martial law. Isn't that Bannon's vision, to create this civil war? And then, yeah, then there's martial. And they tried to do that in the last Trump term, in 45th term. But a lot of things didn't work then. They're trying to bring them back and actually make them work. Celtics Sears says astrologically we are heading, you say healing, but I think you mean heading, right, into a period when the fog is lifting and people are waking up, which will be healing. We have to be, yeah, because here Aquarius really is here. Like we've crossed over the line from Pisces. I think we're still on the cusp, but there's no way to move it forward into this new age. So the more we move forward, the more the Aquarian ethos is going to be the dominant ethos of the world. And so we're going to see a awakening, because Pisces is very dreamy, ruled by Neptune, like a fog. It can be like a fog. But then Aquarius is like, fog goes away, and it's like, even though it's really, I think, in the tarot represented as the star, I equate the sun also with Aquarius too. This innocence and this happiness and this light that comes in. No, I think the phone changes. My phone changes words all the time. Celtics here. Um, what am I missing here? Oh, I'm missing quite a bit. So, hey, Forrest, once this is over, we will need some amazing trauma recovery tools. Do your guide see us healing from the trauma from the past 2,000 years in addition to the current worldwide insanity? Oh, yeah. I believe that is a purpose for all of us, probably, especially in this incarnation and the ones to come, to heal that trauma, meaning remembering past lives. What that's part of my work. I enjoy working with my guides to walk through the Akashic records and help people remember past lives, so that they can, understand why certain dynamics, especially ones that are difficult, continue to come through the generations, or through the past. Well, there's that too, the family generations, but through people's past lives into the present, and then how to, clear or cut cords to those lives, and let it go, let a lot of that dynamic go. We don't need to keep on repeating over and over again our trauma. So yes, 100%, many recovering tools that are available to us now, actually. But that's going to be for the healers of our time, especially in the future. That's going to be major work, and I feel, because Aquarius seems to, in my mind, like really quicken our evolution, along with other cosmic energies that are on the planet, and this with this splitting of the dimensions, right? That I've talked about before, the heavier dimensions, the lower vibrations, and the lighter, higher dimensions, faster frequencies. It seems like so much has been speeded up, especially in the world of healing. So yeah, I'd say definitive yes. I could go on for a long time about the tools for healing trauma, but I can say yes to that. And that is, Forrest, that's such a great question. That is our work now. That is what we're doing right now. Right now. Celtic Sears asking, by spring will SCOTUS, will we, you mean will we increase SCOTUS to 13, or will they, will we lose or not have to have, kind of the people like, Alito and uh, Thomas? Finish your question. I shouldn't finish it for you. Finish your question, though. I'll try to answer. Hey, Kathy, are these goons former failed prison or law enforcement personnel? Some of them, yeah. They really recruit from the prisons. They really do. Yeah. The guys are saying, yeah, allegedly anyway. So Tippy Canoe says his own brown shirts somewhere, I think it's January 6th, 100%. 100%. It's this army that they've been dreaming for, this new Gestapo, this new Nazi army. It's you can see that being a vision of Miller and Musk. Oh, I don't mean to shame your fingers. I already put that up. Sorry about that. Okay. Wildflower Wind. What a beautiful name for an email. Jon Stewart did a great segment on his show last night about what happened in just one weekend, or how much happened in one weekend. I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen that. Jasmine, let me put your comment up here. Hitler's secret police Gestapo's name, Geheim Staatspolizei. ICE is training and is doing a bad job. Yes, they're doing a very bad job because it's all about, let me see how the guys are showing this to me, like the too much speed in terms of trying to train people who are really like, they're offering like $50,000 what's the word for that? I'll give you $50,000 just for joining up. And that's, a lot of people need money. So they're attracting people who want the money, but don't have the training or the ability. And also they're attracting a lot of people who aren't actually part of their overall clot, like, or their overall believers. There's a lot of people that they've attracted to who don't really understand or care about this whole Nazi thing. So they love to turn ICE into this hardcore ideological band of soldiers, who will fight for Trump and die for him, and they believe in their vision. But I feel like in their haste, they've kind of failed to do that. There's a core of them, but there's a lot that really have no idea what's going on with that. And they have quotas. They haven't really, weirdly enough, my guides say they really haven't met their quotas for deportation. And there's money involved in that, of course, between the countries. There's a lot of money to be made for these prisons, and it's very nefarious. It's like really human trafficking, and they're just not meeting the quota that they thought they could get with, to deport people. It's chaos, and they're showing me Noam as just with the cowboy hat, and they're showing me her like a 1950s, like you see a 1950s boy in a movie with the pew pew pew, the fake toy guns and the big hat that's too big for his head. That's the vision I'm getting about her, and she really doesn't know what she's doing. Did you hear? Regarding Noam too, I don't know if it's real or not, but it's hard to tell these days with what you hear, but It was something, but it wasn't like Jack Cocciarello or Harry Sisson or one of those guys. I watched Luke, is it Luke Beasley, that were talking about how Donald found out that no, I don't know about this. That Corey, Corey, who's married, and Noam, who's married, are having an affair, and it's not. I don't think it's so much that he didn't know, but it's becoming very public knowledge, and he was upset about it. And he was considering firing Noam for that, but I can't see him firing Noam for that. But that's interesting. I've known for a while, allegedly, that Lewandowski and Noam are having an affair. There's so much corruption, so much corruption. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I love that. The magical calm mermaid. We have to be the miracle by any and every little kindness possible. I 100% agree with that. Um, cause says dark and heavy to light and super light. Yeah, super light. Celtic Seer, well, SCOTUS revoke authority or whatever absolute ruling that they gave him. Yes, I will ask that question too. Because he's so crazy, and we knew this. Why they did they perceive SCOTUS that he would be, um, shooting people on whatever avenue? Like he came to mind again. I have seen him like this for years, as like a it's not Godzilla. I always forget. Oh come on, the big gorilla who is carrying a screaming woman and climbing to the top of the Empire State Building. And you always have to tell me who it is because I block out that name. And then I go, oh yeah, that's who it is. But he's like a crazy guy, gorilla, and he's he will take he will take the Empire State Building down with him if he has to, because that's who he is. He's such a screaming narcissist, and of course now the alleged frontal temporal dementia, whatever kind of dementia he allegedly has, he, he's so impulsive, so he's so dangerous, and trusting idiots like they call him Keg's breath, that guy. But again, but the orange one is Putin, right? And Putin loves this. Putin, believe me, Putin is up to his eyeballs in what's going on in Venezuela and the desire to attack Greenland. All of that. The most terrifying thing is seeing, King Kong. That's who. Thank you, Tippy. Is seeing Trump do Putin's bidding. He'll do anything he wants. Yes, sir. Oh, that's a good question. These are such great questions. Are there Supreme Court justices on the Epstein list? I wonder. What's allegedly here? I'm going to ask though. The guides say allegedly, yes, they do. See that? Yeah. And of course they would be, wouldn't they? Everybody in his realm, including, the Orange One himself, is involved with Epstein. And is somewhere in there. Ooh. Yes, thank you, Pure Energy. Kind of like Voldemort's last stand. 100%. That's how it feels too, right? You know how dark those movies, the last Harry Potter movies, Deathly Hallows, um, how dark they got. Well, it's exactly like that. Ivy asks, what do you see if any of the new Epstein info is found to be true? Oh, it's all true. That's what the guy said. It's all true. It's so bad. That's why the Orange One is so desperate to stop The millions, and there's millions and millions, tens of millions, it seems, of files to yet be set loose on us, and they will be dripped out little by little, or lots by lots. Um, it's so bad. That's why he's so desperate. It's not just about him, which it is. It's also about people he's trying to protect, allegedly. Forrest June says maggots ice are functioning from amygdala fear mode. They haven't moved from predatory consciousness, same as churches that function in this way. Meanwhile, unity consciousness is trying to emerge. Yes, 100%. And the what do they call them? The legacy media, who's all known now by Trump and not Trump, by Putin and by Russia and Saudi Arabia and China, whatever. They know this. And I truly believe, and I have believed for a very long time, that especially Fox and Owen and those, is that still the thing? I haven't seen that station at all, like on YouTube being pushed. They know this. They speak to the amygdala, which is the gland in the brain that mediates fear, anger, appetite, the lizard brain, right? They speak to the lizard brain, and they do it consciously through like KGB hypnosis techniques, and so it causes neurologically inflammation. So the more the amygdala, the limbic system is inflamed, the more people act from their lower brain. But this has been consciously, I believe, used by Fox and other channels to create this population, this cult, I should say, that will just act from fear, act from hate, act from appetite, act from greed and selfishness or ego. And that's their base. I wanted to say something though regarding the other side of that. Which has anybody been following the Monks for Peace? The Buddhist monks who are walking. I don't know where they started, but now they're in South Carolina and they're walking to DC. That just popped up on my feed. It's so beautiful. And they have. I've joined their or subscribed to their website. I think it's Walk for Peace, and so it's just amazing their stories, the things they went through. I think in one state prior to South Carolina, somebody ran a car into them, and one of the monks lost their leg, but they still march on, and they have a dog who's a mascot. And he has his own story. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing just to see them speak and hear the people who have been following them, turning up, driving hours, to be able to meet them. It's an amazing thing. And so that's unity consciousness. That's the opposite, right? The polar opposite of ice and maggots. It's amazing, but that's happening. So look for Walk for Peace or Monks for Peace, and if you haven't been following it, I think they're on day 78 of this walk. Today is the 5th anniversary of 45th second impeachment. It should have been over then. Who in this regime will be impeached? What a great question, Leslie. Let's see. I think I'm getting that they may be out before there's an opportunity to impeach them, but they will be prosecuted. I do see Noam as being relentlessly interrogated, possibly going to prison. Miller, Vogt, Chial even. people who worked for Doge. I wish I could say Musk, but I think Musk does not, like, he's out of there. So there's something to an ending with Musk, or Musk hides in another country. But I see this line, text breath, um, Bannon again. Who else? Anybody who's willingly worked to bring down our democracy. So I'm not hearing impeachment because there may not be time. But if there is impeachment, then it would be many of those people. And I'm hearing Noam is in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. So I'm looking at the questions again. Ivy says, love watching the monks, and Forrest mentioned that too. Regarding the Monks of Peace, they've got quite a bit of press coverage in South Carolina that has to be uploaded yet. Oh yeah, what's the dog's name? I think it had to get orthopedic surgery or something. That dog from a vet in South Carolina, they had to stop over for the dog, but it's got its whole history. Yes, Jasmine, I mentioned they were Buddhist monks. I think I might have been misunderstood, but that was my understanding too. Thank you. Yeah, poor dog required surgery, but he's still going to go on that march. He's not going to leave his people. I don't want to say masters, people behind. Say, a Goatsman, what are you saying here? Hi, I mean, right after I posted my comment, I saw yours and suspect as much. Lots of commentary on various sites about the interview. I missed that comment. If somebody wants to let me know. Oh, it's Anoka. Yes, dog is called Anoka. So cute. Sometimes I miss out on context with some of your comments because I don't see the one that came before. Who was Sasha Riley, Forrest, or anybody? I don't know who that is. Oh, I love that question, Celtic. Dear guides, see Putin fall from power this year? Yes. And there's actually something else behind that. Historically, do you remember when there was that major earthquake? And they had like a volcano erupt, I think. Where was that? It begins with a K. Not Kalistanov or something or other. But in this, it's like a port. It's really important port for Russia, way out there in the rugged wilderness. And no, it can't be Krakatoa. Why am I hearing that? But every time they've had this like major 6 point or over, I think it was actually 7 point earthquake in that area, a ruler has died the next year. So that happened with the Tsar, that happened with Stalin, so every single time. And so now some people who follow that history think it's Putin's time because that earthquake and volcanic eruption happened last year. So, but my guides, it's hard, like with timing, and getting the timing of a death is hard. And I don't think I've been want to know specifically like an exact time of death, because that's a powerful bit of information. And I don't even know if we're supposed to know the exact time. Maybe some psychics out there can do it, but it's just not something that I do or really want to do. But it's so close. Like they tell me constantly that Putin, his time is it's like a noose getting tighter and tighter around his neck. But it is divine timing, so it's going to be at a time when the Putin regime, like whatever his old guard or whoever still supports him, he's murdered most of them allegedly. Um, the hardliners, they won't be able to take over. The Hawks won't be able to take over. The government will fall to the Russian insurgency backed by NATO. And I asked about China, like, well, because China's right there. What will they do? What will their reaction be? And my guide said, because of the timing, China will be okay with it. It's like everything will support his downfall. So the timing is going to be that, but it's very soon, very soon. See I'm just reading. Oh, me have radio silence. I'm so sorry. Oh, so Sasha Riley is somebody who's been speaking out about the Epstein files and has stories about some. Oh, here, Jasmine. I'll put that your comment up. Melissa Sasha Riley is a survivor of Epstein Island. Said Ep and the felon unalived many, many kids during their reign of terror. He said he knows where the bodies are buried. I guess I wouldn't be at all surprised considering so many of those kids uh, were bought in from all over the globe. Probably many of them purchased, I would think. So is he going to is Sasha a male or a female, and are they going to speak again? I'll look out for them. I'll go on YouTube later on and see if I can find an interview. Yeah, pretty bad. It's been going on for so long, so long, and Epstein is just part of this attack on this country. Also, like he's everybody in. It seems in the Orange One's administration, it has some link to him. It seems like that, and I guess this ongoing attempt by oligarchs, the one percenters, the patriarchy, to take over the world and do what they will. Celtic Seer says proclastic flow from earthquakes worldwide would really affect the global climate. Will we manage to escape this calamity? Like instead of ending up like the dinosaurs. Sasha's male. Okay, I was kind of gathering that. Selma, thank you. Um, Bear says, yes, this is very old stuff. Didn't originate with Epstein. I knew someone who grew up in the 70s in mass as a victim. Oh, yeah, 100% believe that. And there was a whole, like in Michigan, um, there was a whole thing that took place in the 70s regarding a group of very wealthy pedophile, um, mainly men, I think, with young boys. You can look at Fox Island, the Fox Island, crime or whatever, to see the details of that. So it was going on. Yeah, these pedophile rings all over the world, probably for a very long time. Will Congress act to block ICE funding? I think it's only funded through the end of January. That's a really good question. Let me ask. Oh, also, there's a potential. I'm not sure where we are with the ACA with the Affordable Care Act funding, but Hakeem Jeffries and was able to get a bipartisan agreement to put that forward soon. So that's not totally lost yet. Let's see. Okay, I'm getting regarding the fallout from the earthquakes and the volcanoes and volcanic dust. Yes and no. The guides say some places will be really badly affected. Some places won't be affected at all. That's how they show me. And there's going to be a lot of in the future, a lot of progress in terms of healing our environment, talking to the earth. Acknowledging the earth, Gaia, as a unique, and some countries already do, by the way, a sentient being. And if we interact with her in a loving, sentient way, we can bring her back to healing, or we can bring her towards healing, and it'll be very powerful. And that's not anything new, because that's, indigenous people and people who acknowledge Gaia as the earth as a sentient being have been doing this for a long time. But it's going to become more. We're going to do that more as a global community. Oh, thank you, guys. That's a beautiful vision. The money for the ACA went to fund ICE. Oh, Children of the Snow documentary crime. Is that the Fox Island? Mayor says, I'm envisioning special drones that filter the air. It's going to be pretty amazing, like the technology ahead of us. But we're all going to have to want it. We're going to have to somehow overpower or defeat, the TL/Musks of the world who just want to destroy this planet and move themselves to Mars. I don't think Mars is inhabitable. I'm sorry that it's not a good planet, but they seem to think it is. Anything on ICE funding? I heard something about that today. Well, if we get the Congress, right? If it turns blue, even before 2026 November, that's going to be a huge deal. And I think it's going to be walked back. And I hope I'm right. They're telling me, yes, the guys are saying there will be a blue Congress, blue Senate too. And they just show me as strong and powerful, like the man behind the curtain, the great eyes looked very powerful, but behind the curtain, they're showing me him in a diaper. I don't need to see that, guys. So thank you for showing me, but you can take that one away. But that's kind of what they show me. And they say that's how, like, the people in the White House, they do see him in a diaper. Now they're showing me him in, like, one of those, I don't know, him, I'm talking about the orange one, in, what you wear in the hospital? Those robes that, like, have a back that's, like, just tied by ties. I like these. I find these visions interesting. Is there anything else you want to show me about that? They say that as the orange one gets sicker and more debilitated, and more like a baby, like, how they used to. I haven't seen one recently, but those Trump balloons that are like babies in diapers. That is actually like what's coming for him very soon because of his progressive um, Alzheimer's. People in the government, like Bondi and even Miller and people like that, they don't know, they don't get along. They're not cohesive enough. Once he goes, even Vance, it just falls apart. Falls apart. Because it's like they're giving me this analogy, like when a host has a bunch of parasites hanging off them, but when the host dies, the parasites have to like jump off the body. Yeah, that's kind of like they're sucking him, sorry, I don't mean to be untoward, but they're, draining him of his lifeblood, but he also needs them. He needs they're like proof and evidence of his power. And they're just always kowtowing to him. Oh, the great orange one, the great orange one. May I kiss your feet? You are so wonderful. And he needs that. But, he's a physical being. And it's, the energizer, it might be like the Energizer Bunny, but, his batteries are going to run out one day. And then it's all hell breaks loose with them. It's a mess. Oh, Jasmine, he doesn't have anything in that diaper. He's impotent. Oh, but he has a lot of, what in that diaper. A lot of maybe BS. Leslie's asking, will the GOP actually follow Vance or will he be removed as well? He, I hope this is right. I don't know. I'm skeptical about my own self. But what I hear is he'll be removed. And I've been hearing that for a long time, that Vance will be removed. What exit stage left. And that says the front temporal dementia is very recognizable now. How long will they be able to handle him? I think that, no, okay. Does anybody have or has had some person in their life like that, grandparent, mother, um, spouse, whatever? What was your memory or is your observation regarding like the progression of dementia? I hope nobody does, but if anybody does, he's like that person. So it may be that, and he's on the best drugs, but that, what's it called? I think begins with an L. Um, it's like a new drug for Alzheimer's. He's on all that stuff, anything that they can do because he's got the best care. Was that May or something like that? I don't know, but it's going to speed up. They've tried to slow it down, but it's going to speed up. They say to the point where um, he's going to be wandering around in a daze. And that the time period, they say a couple months is when he's really gone for good. Oh, I'm sorry, Wildflower. You've had both parents. So it's very, very, it has it's very different for other people. Like everybody's different in terms of progression, and things can spark it off, right? It just really depends. I would imagine even like barometric pressure, or a change in environment, anything that's probably going to stress the brain. It's hard to know what it will be, but all of a sudden, the person takes, or that the dementia goes that way. Lennox says he will need his personal roof to wander around on. He's already doing that. Didn't he post something recently? I don't know who posts his stuff. Does he post it or do other people post it? I don't know. I probably mix. But he was standing on the roof, and I guess the caption was soon. I don't know what that means. Yeah, the magical mermaid. Reagan was limited to and became a puppet. Exactly. Gloria's asking, hi, Melissa. Nobody ever mentions, is Stephen Miller ever going to go to prison or like The Hague or something? Oh, do you remember, guys, when I did that past life on Miller? That was like 4 years ago or something, or 5 years ago as the Goebbels. I need to go back and see what the reading was for him, but I'm pretty sure it was bad, right? For him. I feel like he's going to go to prison. Yeah, I hope so. I think I saw that in that reading. And I have if anybody wants to check out past lives, because I've done a lot of past lives on a lot of these characters, uh, just go to my channel, Melissa Free Range Psychic, and there's a past life playlist. It's kind of interesting. I am so near doing one on Noam, like, and when I say near doing one, it's not that I've done any work on it, but I'm close to inquiring. Like, who is she? Like, who was she? So the guides will show me when I'm ready, and then I will do a past life on her. And I can't help think she was a Nazi, but I haven't asked, so I don't know. Who knows? Oh, I did. Yeah, Jasmine. I did say he was going to get sick, and I saw like a heart attack or something. But both could be true, right? I don't know the timeline. I did see him having a weak constitution, and maybe dying of a heart attack at a young age. But that doesn't mean that happens before he has his. We see justice. Let me ask the guides. Yeah, that's what they say. They say there is going to be some justice for him, but they also see the same ending, which is a heart attack. Oh, Forrest, is he? Oh, that's bad. That's really bad because that shows the progression of dementia way to his brain, his motor reflexes. Right? Ooh, sorry. Yeah. How do you know? Have you just been watching him, or has that been reported? So Leslie asks, will the Hague get involved with Kegsbrett's activity in the Caribbean? Yeah, I saw that recently. They found out that he used civilian airplanes to disguise military war crime. Yes, they are already involved. Maybe we don't get all the news, all the international news. Maybe these things are actually active, and we just don't know because our media is not telling us. But I see yes. If not right now, that is definitely in the future, 100%. Thank you. I meant by international laws. Yeah, it's not happening right now, but I do see it coming in the future. Forest Dream says, I feel so bad for the kids of these monsters. I do too. I do too. Oh, well, Katie, Celtic Sears asking if Katie Miller will face any repercussions. She scares the crap out of me. She's a really scary person. She's like if Stephen Miller kind of split into two, and one was female and one was male, and Katie would be like the male. I mean, the female. Oh, a doctor posted it about the swallowing for Chimrump. Yes, uh, yes, Dana. He was. If you look at my playlist on my channel, look up Stephen Miller. You'll see that I have this comparison of pictures. I do that with past lives. If I can find a photograph or portrait, I'll do like a montage of the present day incarnation and the past incarnation, and then I juxtapose them side by side or um, frame by frame, and then you can see for yourself if there are similarities, because there's oftentimes something very similar, if not in the actual physique, then in the eyes, or something about these incarnations where they look very similar to each other in some way. And I do have that montage at the beginning of my video for Stephen Miller / Girls. Oh yeah, I think you're talking about Katie and Steve. Did I ask? Let's see. I don't think I asked that question about what's coming for her. Yeah, because it's may not be necessarily to do with war crimes as much as money, something to do with money and corruption. Oh my God, the amount of money that they're stealing. But somebody had asked me in another um, live, like, will we get some back? And the guide said, yes, we will be compensated for the money that is being siphoned out of our country and siphoned into pockets, siphoned from the taxpayers. Oh my gosh, it's already 4. I can go over a little bit. Don't people incarnate into totally different people? No. I should say I don't want to be dogmatic about it. In my experience, I've done a lot of past life readings for people, and also, I've done those past life videos. We have the same soul. I see like people like the higher self is the string, and then the string that the pearls are beaded on, and then each incarnation is like a separate pearl. But we carry. Uh, with each lifetime, we have the same higher self. We have the accumulation of past life memories. And so actually lives can be very similar. It's the same higher self, it's the same person, but different personalities, different astrologies, different elemental influences like fire, air, water, earth, and then metal, So just in my experience, I've done past lives, I don't look at any particular absolute or specific thing that they should be this or that. I just see my guides just show me what they are, and I do the best to see them, and this is what I have found. Okay, so I see we do carry cumulative parts of ourselves, and our past lives overlap. So, and we often look very similar. And we have, we have a carryover of injury and trauma and all that kind of stuff. That's what I found. Anyway, other people might have found different things, but I have found that. Yeah, exactly. Depends. Unfinished business. Gloria Vasquez, we're all suffering from Trump syndrome, which is why I wasn't forced to ask about the trauma healing kit. As we move forward, we're going to need a lot of healing of our nervous systems, a lot of healing of our souls. But we will do that. The healers are here to, we will get that healing if we choose it. And there's some amazing healing already out there for us. So, okay, you guys, maybe I'll choose one more question, and then I guess I should go. Is Jerome Powell the reincarnation of Ben Franklin's child? I don't know who Ben Franklin's child is, or which one. Didn't he have a lot? I can ask, though, about a past life for Jerome Powell, but I think I'm going to do gnome first. I don't know. When I go into these people's energy fields and into the Akashic records, I always do it through my guides. I never do it directly, but it's still because it can, the people, the incarnations is, at least the present ones are so vile to me. Chancellor says, no, Melissa, we're all going to need a lot of rum after he's gone. I'll look into it, Mayor, okay? His son was estranged from him. You know more history than I do. Okay, you guys, into another week of lunacy and insanity, but what is the directive from the guides? To move towards the light. To move towards the light, they say. No matter what, move towards the light. And they remind me that here in this hemisphere, Western Hemisphere, the days are getting longer, right? We've passed the winter solstice, so. Oh, you're welcome, Forrest. Thank you, Juanita. Um, you're so welcome. You guys be well. I love you. And I'll be back next week. Okay. You guys take care. Be well.